Here we are in Michigan. I thought I'd do a nice little quick video on gold panning in Michigan. I am on the Rogue River, which is kind of near Rockford or Grand Rapids, Michigan. And this is the one place I've panned all over the state, including Lake Superior, the Upper Peninsula, a whole bunch of places down here on different rivers. But the Rogue River in Grand Rapids, Michigan is the place I've been getting the largest nuggets out of. Very surprisingly, there's lots of little tiny fine flour flake and real fine stuff all over the state that you can get to if you know the right spots and you know how to get it properly, which is a whole nother story on its own. But on this river, for some reason, there are large nuggets that I'm actually yanking out of here. I came out here the first time, never thought I would get a single thing, and I was just kind of doing more of a practice with the new turbo pan right here that I got, and I did about 10 or 15 pans and yanked a nugget out. So since then I've been back here quite a bit. Now the Rogue River, as you can kind of look up and down here, you see there's a bridge back there. There's a lot of rapids on this river. It's real popular during the summer for kayaking, and I've actually gone through here a couple times. This river is also notoriously known for flooding. I was here about a week ago and the water's up probably 4 inches from then, and we really haven't gotten very much rain in the last week. So this river, it's hardly passable with a kayak during the summer because it gets so low. And then at other points during the summer, it's just complete flood stage, which is, I really believe that's one of the reasons there's gold. If you look down to the south on the Rogue River here, kind of where it empties into the main river, what is it, the Grand River, I believe, down there. But anyways, where it empties into that, just south of Rockford, maybe 10 miles south of Rockford, where it empties there's a lot of gravel mines. And if you can see kind of off in the distance here, I know it's kind of hard to see on these YouTube videos, but there's quite a lot of hills in some large areas. And this river is a very fast moving river with a lot of rapids that kind of carves right through the valley. And you can see where the dog's at over here, you can just see the gravel that's kind of up on the bank there even. And if you look out across, there's lots of patches of gravel. And where I'm finding the gold at, to be very, very specific, you can see these large rocks that are just on the sides of the river. I'm finding it, and they go all along here. I'm finding it kind of on the corners of the bankments and up and around the rocks. You can see right here where I've excavated a little bit around this rock here. But it's just up in the fine gravel, right around the large rocks. In areas of the rapids, that's exactly where I'm finding it at. And I'm actually finding some pretty large chunks. Surprisingly, I'm not finding a lot of the real fine material on this river that I do in, say, off of Lake Superior. But anyways, I thought I'd just do a quick video to show you kind of how I go about it, because it's a little bit of a different process that I'm using on this river in terms of my panning technique and in terms of the dredging that we do, the small amount. We've got a real fine setup that I don't know if I want to put on a YouTube video. If I get a lot of response of people asking, I guess I would, but it takes a little bit to set that thing up. It's kind of a modified version of what we're doing with the sluicing. But I can show you pretty easily with the pan how I'm getting it out of this river here, and kind of it's a multi-step process that I do. So I'm just going to go through here real quick, and hopefully this video doesn't get to be too long. I know a lot of people are interested in gold mining in Michigan, and there's really not a lot of information out there. We've had spots up in Lake Superior where we're getting as much as 30 or 20 colors per pan, which is just incredible. You know, that rivals what you see up in Nome, Alaska, or, you know, you look at Gold Rush on the show. If they get a pan with 8 colors in it, they're doing really good, and we're getting 20 plus here in Michigan. So there's actually quite a bit of gold in Michigan. You just have to know exactly where to look, and you got to be very, very smart about it, because you can go out and pan all weekend and not get a single thing, or you can go out and pan for a weekend and get quite a bit of gold. So, and you get a good sluice with the right setup, you can get a lot too. So anyways, I just keep talking and rattling. So what I'm going to do here, it's December right now, so I do have to put my gloves on, which will probably make it a little bit more difficult to shoot this video. But I'm going to do the best I can here to just kind of show you of how I'm going about this. Exactly. So what I like to do is, again, right up around these rocks, and I'm just going to kind of go off the side here a little bit, just to make it easier on myself. But normally I'd be digging a lot closer into the side of the rock there than what I'm doing now. You can see some banding in there. I don't know if you can see it or not on the video, but you do see a little bit of black banding. And that's really where a lot of the gold is going to be sunk in at. There's also quite a bit in Michigan. We've got a lot of clay lining too. That's a good area right on the top side of that clay. Now right there you can see a nice little bit of a band right into the top of there. So just scooping off kind of that area there, getting a nice pan full. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a smaller pan there just so I'm not wasting too much of your time. And I usually load her in the turbo pan and come over to a spot on the river, and hopefully I don't drop my video in here. It's gonna be a little bit hard to video while I'm actually doing this, but I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully you see and know what's going on here. So I'm just gonna watch. I gotta put this in my mouth to hold it. It's the only I don't really have a tripod or anything, so I'm gonna do that real quick. So I won't be able to talk, but you can kind of see the process that I use on the turbo pan. So here we go. So just to kind of recap, I don't use a classifier when I'm panning. I find that I don't usually pan enough. I just do a little bit of panning till I find out kind of where the gold's at, and then if I find some gold, then I actually go get the sluice and have that a bigger setup. But you can find it quite a bit with the pan, and I do that. But the way I do the classifier, I just kind of knock the rocks out. So just to kind of show you that again, I know it's 7 minutes now, but I'm going to try to get through this and kind of tell you a little bit more after I get done here and show you how I actually pan this through. So just kind of bear with me here, and I'm just going to finish it out here. So when I get the pan down to about this range here, and you can see real close in the nugget trap, there's always fishing sinkers, and you can see at least one sitting right there. But when I get down to about this amount right here, then I get to another pan, and I pan between the two. And that's kind of the best way in these larger nuggets. It's easy, especially with the larger rocks kind of tossed in amongst them, it's easy to lose the larger nuggets. So what I do is I pan between the two pans, and this is a good technique so that you're not losing some of the material, because what happens is on the larger rocks, the water flow going around it kind of knocks it out. So I come over here and I get my other pan, and I'll just kind of let you watch again, so I know you're glad I'm not talking during this bit. Now once I get down to the smaller amount that I have right here, sorry about that, I got quite a bit of water down my sleeve. Now once I get down to the smaller amount, then I don't do the double pan technique as much. You could, but what I'd like to do right here now is I just work, it's really easy, I don't have very much in this pan left. So it's pretty easy to just pan right through. Nice and easy, and I'm gonna move to the smaller riffles now actually. You can see a lot of black sand right there on those riffles. There's some good material here. But as I'm panning through using my smaller riffles, you just gotta take your time here at that last step, even though it's pretty difficult to lose the gold. It's so heavy, it's 19 times heavier than water, and usually the lead, I keep pretty much all of it too. But I just pan this out nice and slow, and you can see that lead sinker there, so you know I haven't lost any gold if I still have that lead sinker in there. And you just slowly knock it down here. And again, I'm not necessarily trying to extract the gold, I'm just trying to look to see what we got in here as much as anything. So I get about that much in there, and then now, okay, so I'm down here and I can quickly see, you know, all the native copper, all the fishing garbage and everything in here. Let's see if I can get the camera in there nice and close. So I'm not really seeing any gold in this pan, but I mean, you don't get it. Well, I don't know, there's a little speck, right? Let's see if I can get it in right there, if you can see that. That almost looks like a gold speck there. And I mean, you watched it the whole way through, so you know I didn't plant that. You see some nice chunks of native copper, you got my fishing lure, and that's just one pan of material there. It's hard to exactly say, you know, what's in there, but you go through quite a few pans and you're more likely to find something. So that's kind of my technique that I have for quickly using it. You've got to have two pans, especially in Michigan, because you go through so much material and you're washing in and out. You have to have a two-pan technique going, or of course a sluice. But when you're kind of prospecting and looking around for the gold, you don't want to use a sluice. It's just so much setup time. Ours takes about 2 hours or so to get everything, you know, dialed in and honed up to get it operating properly. So anyways, that's my technique. Again, we are on the Rogue River in southern Michigan, up close to by Grand Rapids, just north of Grand Rapids, actually the Rockford area. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.